Hey, this is Dan Smith, and today I want to do this video for you. I want to teach you some lessons on why it is important to dream. In the book Psycho Cybernetics, Maxwell mentions a statement by a man named Emil Cou'e, who is a French psychologist, in which he states that when the imagination and the will are in conflict, the imagination invariably wins the day. Now, to illustrate it further, I want to explain the fear mechanism and how that works. Now, if I had a wooden plank that was 20 feet long and 18 inches wide, and it was laying on the floor, and if I was to ask you to walk across it, would you have a problem doing that? Probably not, unless you had some physical difficulty in life, and then it would be very easy to walk it. But what if we put that plank up about 3 feet high on a set of sawhorses? Could you walk across it then? I'd probably lose a few of you. But what if we took and put it up 10 stories high between two buildings? Could you walk across it then? I'd lose most people. And I don't think that I'd walk across it myself. There's what happens is we've introduced the fear mechanism. The fear mechanism that resides in your imagination. You begin to imagine yourself, what if the wind blows a little bit? It's gonna blow me over. What if the plank rocks a little bit? I'm gonna fall off. And your imagination takes over. Now, what if one of the buildings was on fire and your child was in that burning building? Now, could you figure out a way to cross that plank? I think that you could. That changes the motivation that you feel to cross the plank, even though it is now 10 stories off the ground. I think that you'd be saying, yes, I can. I can do this. Have you ever decided to go on a diet and lose some weight? You make a decision that you're going to lose a little bit of weight and you're just not going to eat desserts anymore. You're going to give it up. I think we've all done that one time or another. But then you go to a friend's house, and what do? They haul out a great big thick chocolate cake or a pie, and what happens? They say, "Hey, you want a piece of this? Man, this is one of the greatest cakes in the world." And what happens to that decision that, hey, I'm not going to eat chocolate cake anymore. I'm not going to eat desserts. I'm going to lose some weight. Well, the image in your imagination kicks in, and the willpower, what does it do? Goes out the window. Takes a hike on you. So you see that cake in the richness of the frosting. You can smell it, and your mouth begins to water. You see it in your imagination how good it would be to have a small piece of it. And before you know it, your imagination has beat you up, and you give up and you give in and you eat the cake. Right? We've all been there. The imagination wins and your willpower is crushed. So, how can you change that picture in your imagination? That's the question. The weight loss and the plank between the two buildings are just examples of a bigger problem. And what's that problem? The problem is wanting one thing, but then you imagine a different thing in your mind and you're being defeated. Have you ever experienced that? You can consciously want one thing and not get it because you have a different picture in your imagination. Have you ever read a self-help book and you wanted the results that that book talked about and not gotten them? Why? Because the imagination and the self-defeating pictures that you held in your mind. How can you change the mental picture to line up with the will? Eventually, the will and the imagination picture that you have has to line up, or you will always be in that place of defeat. So we could ask the question, well, why? Because even though you want one thing and have a certain amount of willpower to have it, the imagination picture will cancel out the willpower and you'll become defeated. It is possible to change the mental picture in your mind, your imagination. This is done by goal setting, by making a decision about what you want. You form goals that describe what you want to do, to be, or to have. You make a written plan of how you're going to accomplish your goals. And then you begin to imagine yourself in what is called the finished state, as actually having the want, the need, or desire in your possession. Begin to verbalize that you are in possession of the desired object. Have you ever watched a child at play? We got some kids here, and they're out in the field and they're playing, having a great time. When you have 2 or 3 children and they're at play and the imagination of the children kicks in, and one of them will say to the others, hey, let's say that I'm a blank, fill in the blank, and that you are a blank, and that we're doing blank. Have you ever seen that happen? Do you remember that happening when you was a child? I do. Well, what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it is, a pirate, a fireman, a nurse, a doctor. It doesn't matter. They're playing. They're having a good time. So they're just playing. So in their imaginations, they can be and do anything that they want to do. Why? Because they are writing the story, living it in their imagination the way that they want to live it. But you might say, well, you know what, dude, that's fine for children, but what about adults? It doesn't work for adults. My question is to you, why? Why do you think that it don't work for adults? Well, partly because your parents told you to pay attention in school. The teacher told you, color inside the lines. Cows aren't purple. Cows can't fly. Well, they can in your imagination. What has happened is that children are primarily right brain thinkers when they're little, and they live in their imagination. It's when we get older and when we're told to pay attention in school. You have to be realistic, don't you? You've got to be realistic. You've got to get good grades at school to be successful, right? Well, we get the right brain literally kicked out of us. And we have a tendency to switch from left to over to left brain thinking, which is logic, which is language. Left brain thinking says, what do you mean I have to have this finished by Thursday? I can't possibly get it done by then. Life and reality dictates what we are capable of doing because we accept it as true. We accept that reality. So one of the ingredients of success in any undertaking is to think like a child and have fun in your imagination and see and feel how your life would be if you were able to live the life that you want to live. We use a combination of left brain logic and we use our willpower, but it has to start with desire and right brain thinking and imagination. You imagine it first, write it down on paper, think about it, and imagine it in the finished state. How would that feel? What would your life be like? What would the feelings be that would be going through your body? Just like the kids in the example above, hey, let's pretend that I own a successful business and that I make every month what I now make a year. How would that affect your life? How would life be different if your yearly income was now your monthly income? Think about it. Wow, I could take a cruise on a cruise ship with my whole family and we could go to the Bahamas and we could go shopping and I'd have lots of money to spend on anything that I want to have. I could buy new clothes and I could have freedom in my life. I could get rid of this lousy job. I could have freedom to do what I want to do instead of a boss telling me what I have to do all the time. And that's how to start dreaming of the life that you want. Get rid of the picture, get rid of the life that you don't want. Fire your boss. Pretend it, play it, have a dream and imagine it. And we got this guy over here, he's saying, man, I hate my life. My life sucks. And he can imagine himself over here on this tropical island. Then create a plan, set goals. That's left brain logic. We use both sides of the brain. But you read your goals out loud 2 times a day. And why do you do that? You close your eyes and you imagine yourself in the finished state. And you will begin to move towards your dream, your goals. That's right brain visualization. In the beginning, the steps might be small, but as you read and make plans and you begin to move forward towards your goals, over time, you will develop faith. And what is faith? Well, faith equals belief in things unseen. Okay? In the Bible, in Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1, it says that faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen or unseen. And the reason why you read your goals out loud is found in the book of Romans, chapter 10, verse 17. It says, faith comes from hearing, and hearing by the word. So as you repeat your goals, you are doing it for the purpose of creating faith inside of yourself. Now, speaking your vision or dream into existence. Okay? So, through the combination of willpower, left brain logic, and imagination and hard work, you can create the life that you want to live. But it takes time to change bad habits and form new habits and new thinking patterns. That's done over time. And that's done through goal setting. And an excellent book on goal setting is the classic Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. I mean, that's a standard, right? And the Psycho Cybernetics, another excellent book. They both talk about goal settings. They talk about visualization of bringing mental pictures of what you want to happen in your life. So those are two excellent books. I highly recommend them. There are hundreds of books on the market on goal setting, but this is a great place to start. I hope this was helpful for you. I would love to see you live your dreams, to live your life the way that you want to live it. Does your dream include making more money or of owning a business of your own? I'm looking for serious-minded individuals that want a better life, that want to engineer their own lives and do it on their own terms. I have a question. Is that you? I can't make you any income promises. Number one, because I don't know you. I don't know your skill level. I don't know how hard you're willing to work to make a better life for yourself and for your family. This will require work. So if you are a person that is serious about a better life, then I want to talk to you. I want to explore the possibilities that we could possibly work together. I'm looking to work. I'm not just looking to work for just anyone. I'm only seeking serious-minded people that are not afraid of hard work, that are serious about living their dreams. If that describes you, and you are looking for a vehicle that can carry you to the dreams that you want, then go to my website, enter your email address there, and I'm going to send you a video. And I want you to watch that video. Watch it with an open mind and see how this business can help you. My website is www.dreamcreation.ws, or hit me up on Facebook. Send me a friend request. That's facebook.com/Dan Glenna. Learn to dream again, okay? Take control of your life. Live your life on purpose. This is Dan Smith. I truly hope that this has been a helpful video for you, and I'll catch you on the next video. I look forward to talking to you soon. Have a great day.